And good evening, everyone, and welcome to the East Brunswick Township Council meeting for April 10th, 2023. Will everyone please rise and salute the flag with our Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of personal reflection for Barbara Ann Ambrosi, late mother of retired EBTV director and producer, Mr. David Ambrosi, who passed away earlier this month. May her memory be a blessing. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Township Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Hall.
Here.
Councilman Wendell. Absent. Councilwoman Winston.
Here.
Councilwoman Zimbicki. Here. Council President McAvoy.
Here.
Also present, Mayor Brad Cohen.
Here.
Administrator Joseph Criscuolo.
Here.
And Township Attorney Michael Baker.
Here.
Township Clerk, would you please read the statement of adequate notice?
Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided as required under Chapter 231 Public Law 1975 by specifying the time, date, location, and to the extent known, the agenda, by posting a copy on the bulletin board located in the main lobby of the East Brunswick Municipal Building, providing a copy to the Home News Tribune and Sentinel newspapers, posting a copy on the Township's website, and by filing a copy in the office of the Township Clerk, which will be entered into the minutes.
Thank you. Approval of meeting minutes resolution 23-122 adopting meeting minutes March 27th, 2023. Can I have a motion?
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Second.
Is there any need for corrections or discussion? Township Clerk, will you call the roll?
Councilmember Hall.
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston.
Yes.
Councilwoman Zimbicki.
Yes.
Council President McAvoy.
Yes, there are no proclamations and there are no presentations at this time. Ordinances for a second reading and a public hearing. There is none right as of this evening. And let's move over to the mayor's report. Mayor Cohen.
Thank you, Council President. First of all, I want to wish everybody who had Easter yesterday a happy Easter. Those who are celebrating Passover, a happy Passover, and those who are in the middle of Ramadan, an easy fast and same holiday season. I just wanted to update the council and the public on a couple of things. First, I'm sure that everybody notices the road work that's being done throughout the township. This is something that for years had been neglected. From taking office, all I heard about is East Brunswick being a third world country when it came to roads. The roads are being taken care of. The project on Route 18, as everybody knows, is a 4-year project. The state is contributing half of the money to the water repairs that are East Brunswick water lines, that if we don't do it now, we would pay 100% of that. That's about a $16 million project, so we're getting half back from the state. And it's just a long progress. It's going to be a 4-mile stretch of Route 18, and the work is being done at night out of respect and for safety to the driving public and the workers from the Department of Transportation. That is a state road. If anybody wants to know what is being done, you can look up on Township has a link that goes right directly to the state project. You can know exactly what's being done at any point in time. But that work is being done now, and I know it's an inconvenience, but we need to do it. There's county work being done on county roads. I know there was work on Riders Lane today. I think they're mostly done with that. But there's roads that are all county done. They are finicky. When they gave us a schedule, we do not say no. We follow, if we tell them that we don't like the schedule, then they're just going to go somewhere else. So this is money the county's paying for these roads, not coming out of property tax dollars in the sense of municipal dollars. That work just needs to be done. We will let them do it. There's PSE&G work being done on Dunham's Corner Road. That work just needs to be done. It was a continuation of work that wasn't finished last year. we're just going to let them get it done. And then, of course, there's our continuing projects that we do in town on our 180 miles of township roads. We have several $1,000,000 each year we contribute towards doing our own roads, and that work is being done now. We've got great weather. It's a limited season. So despite the fetching and whining and complaining on Facebook and all these other social media, frankly, haven't really gotten too many calls in the mayor's office, and the work just needs to be done. Leave early. The other thing I wanted to make council aware of, and of course the public again, is that the township is in the process of beginning to look at our refuse contract for solid waste and for recycling. That is a 5-year contract that every 5 years needs to be renegotiated. That expires the end of this year. I've already started with a bid package. We're looking at different ways in which we can try to help offset any very predictable increase in costs, because the cost of solid waste and recycling has gone up dramatically. In most other towns, they have faced 30, 35, 40% increases, and we spend millions of dollars each year on refuse. That's a hefty number. So we're going to do the best we can to try to provide the same or better level of service, but there are going to be some things that we might need to give up in order to get a contract that is manageable and affordable going into the next 5-year cycle. Keep in mind that the last 2 times that we negotiated for a contract for solid waste and recycling, we went out to bid, which is a requirement, and all of one company each time responded to those bids. So there are a limited number of companies out there that even want to do municipal business. They would far rather us give it up and then hire them privately. They make a lot more money that way. So it is something that we don't want to have to give up. We don't want to go to private service, and we're going to do the best we can. But I wanted everybody to be aware that that process of working with the contractors has started. And then finally, for those who had the opportunity to listen to the redevelopment talk that I gave at the Chamber of Commerce meeting about a week ago, it was a discussion that I titled Redevelopment 2.0. It is a look at where we are going with redevelopment from where we are now. I think everybody's got a pretty good idea what redevelopment 1.0 is. The projects that needed to be done, the redevelopment of Route 18, the natural change in the nature of the corridor. But where does that take us? And how we could be ahead of the curve compared to other townships, and try to make something that we've already started even better. So that I'm going to start doing town halls on in the next couple of months. So look out for those announcements, either a town hall or Facebook Live format, so that everybody has the opportunity of knowing what it is, what the vision is going forward. So that's my report. Thank you, Council President.
You're welcome, and thank you for that report, Mayor Cohn. Administrator, Mr. Criscuolo.
Sure. As the mayor spoke, we're doing a lot of outside road work and paving work. Slated in this year's capital was to pave Veterans Park / library parking lot. There's quite a bit of the curbing that needs to be repaired, replaced, and so on to make that a safe environment. Continuously, we were repairing potholes, and it got to the point where, for public safety, avoiding of any potential lawsuits, and the safety of the public and our employees. So that is going to be closed down. It could start as soon as this Wednesday, Thursday, and what they'll begin with is the curb repair, get it set in place, let the concrete cure, and then milling and paving, and eventually a reopening of that parking lot. We kind of moved that up in the schedule because the kids are going back to school, and it made sense to do a parking lot at the municipal complex, get that out of the way, and push some of the road work paving off to when the kids are out of school. So you can look forward to that. Naturally, the lot's going to be totally closed. It will be blocked off. We just ask the public to park in other parking areas for the library at this time. Okay, that's all, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Baker, our attorney.
No report this evening, Council President.
Township clerk.
So I wanted to reiterate the legislative changes with respect to elections as reported on March 27th. The 2023 primary election will be held on June 6th. The commencement of mail-in ballots will begin around April 22nd. Pursuant to NJSA 19:23-45, if you are an unaffiliated voter and you are registered to receive your ballot by mail, you must declare your party affiliation to continue to receive a mail-in ballot for this coming primary election. The deadline to respond or to submit your party affiliation is by April 12th. The county clerk's office has already mailed the party declaration forms to all unaffiliated voters. The form must be returned in order for you to receive your mail-in ballot by mail. If you choose not to complete the form, you can certainly vote in person on June 6th or during early voting. Of course, this is only for the primary election. As it pertains to the general election, you're able to vote for either party if you're choosing. Thank you.
You're welcome. Council members, any committee or board reports? Councilwoman Winston?
Water Policy Committee, just update very quickly. We met again last week. Everything's going normally and smoothly. The regular testing continues to result in excellent water quality for the township. We are looking still for a student representative to join the committee, so if anyone knows ideally a junior or a sophomore in high school that has a science background or is interested in environmental science, please, if you could contact the mayor's office, and we can give that student an opportunity to get some real-world experience. That's it.
Thank you. We're good. Township clerk, as we move to the public portion of our meeting, can you read the public comment statement?
The public comment portion of our meeting is to allow the public to bring to the council's attention their concerns or comments. In accordance with NJSA 10:4-12A and the East Brunswick Rules of Council, the council asks the public to limit their comments to 5 minutes or less. At the conclusion of the statements or questions from a member of the public, the council president, at his discretion, may choose to respond, not respond, or ask administration to respond. Thank you.
Is there anyone from the public who would like to address the chair? Please.
How you doing tonight?
Good.
My name is Michael Snow. I've been a resident of East Brunswick for the last 5 years.
Mr. Snow, could we have your address?
Sure. I live at 25 Louise Drive off of Riva, and I am here to talk about municipal roads. So I've been here for 5 years, and I'm a father of 3 now. So I have a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and an 8-week-old.
Congratulations.
Thank you. In the last 4 years, my house has flooded twice because of municipal water main breaks. One was 4 years ago, and the other one was 2 weeks ago. Within the last 3 weeks, there have been 3 water main breaks on my road, which is probably a third of a mile long. So it's not a very big road. 3 breaks in the last 3 weeks, 2 floods in the last 4 years because of water main breaks. The municipal workers were great. The fire department was great helping out, so many thanks to them. When I spoke to the fire department this time, one of the firemen said, "Oh, I remember you from last time. You had a newborn then." I'm like, "Yep, got another one." The municipal road workers remembered me. The ServPro person who cleaned up my house has now been promoted, and that is the manager of the team that came back and cleaned up my house again 2 weeks ago. So he remembered me. And then Tracy in the administration office remembered me when I filed for reimbursement of my homeowner's insurance claim. So basically, I'd like to call to the attention of the council the deteriorating and dangerous state of the infrastructure on my street, which could result in harm or maybe something worse for one of my children. So I'd like to understand, I know that there are plans going on for redoing what looks like on the surface, but what is going on underneath to fix issues you cannot see? The municipal workers that were there said 4 years ago, the pipes on the street should have been replaced. They weren't, they were patched. And then he said to me, we are putting Band-Aids on a problem and paving over it to make it look nice. That's my comment.
Okay. Thank you for your concern.
If I may.
Okay.
Very quickly, this issue was addressed at the Water Policy Committee meeting, and I do know that the water people are actively looking at more advanced technologies to go beyond a Band-Aid approach. They did discuss your situation, and they are looking into it right now. They're actively talking about it.
Is there a timeline on that?
I do not know, but I can find out for you.
That'd be great. Excellent.
Okay, thank you for your consideration.
Council President? if you
Yes.
would. Yes, if you recall, we had a similar problem on Whitehall.
I do.
About 18 months ago, and we appropriated the funds to that particular project to get done this year. This section of roadway you're talking about where this resident lives is another large section of piping. We're looking at getting kind of our hands around how far, what's the limits, similarly to what we did on Whitehall. And then we'd have to actually do a capital bond ordinance and so on and so forth. So probably, I've been at the site, similar to Whitehall, it's probably like a $600,000 water main replacement project. But we are looking at it actively, and Keith was away last week, he's back this week, so I'm sure he can give me more estimates on that, and we'll work with Dan and see where we can, what we can do in the meantime. Okay?
So it's being looked into, Mr. Snow.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else wish to address the chair, please?
Hi, my name is Drew Weingarth, Weingarth, 2705 Commons Drive, which is in Kingswood Station. Thank you, everyone, for your time and service. Hope everyone had a great holiday or is still having one. I was taught that if you start something, you should try to follow it through, and I do not want to disappoint others, especially since coming before you is not an easy thing to do. The council may have already planned to do this, but it would greatly be appreciated if the council could please pull for discussion tonight resolution number 23-123, which authorizes Starfire Corporation to hold a fireworks display for a private event at the Middlesex County Fairgrounds on April 28th of this year. I am not suggesting to not approve it, but would like to provide you a recap of the fireworks display ordinance since I have been coming to you since December 27th, 2021. I hope I have done so in an unbiased manner. Goal is to reach a compromise that works for everyone. The focus is not on who is requesting the permit, but the company who is handling the fireworks. For example, I'm going to give a shout out to my section of the community. Let's say for the Commons at Kingswood Station's 35th anniversary, which is coming up in September, I apply for a permit. It's approved, assuming, based on the ordinance, there are still slots available for that month, and we hire a company to handle the fireworks. It would not be good if that company did not follow the township's ordinance. The commercial fireworks display ordinance, number 22-04, was adopted on January 24th of 2022. The first permit issued after the ordinance was established was for an event held on April 30th of 2022. Unfortunately, it was very loud, and council then placed a stay hold on permits. We have learned that the salute shells are the really loud ones, and that is what we are trying to come to some sort of workaround with. Council met with fireworks company to test different sounds on August 8th of 2022. Another permit was issued for a September 16th, 2022 event. Goal was to use that as another test case. Unfortunately, the sound was no different than the event held in April. At the October 10th, 2022 council meeting, I provided some suggestions, with one of them being to try to launch the fireworks further back on the fairground site, further back from Cranberry Road. Hopefully, the April 28th display will not be like the previous ones. And as I always say, notifying the community through Civic Ready has been a huge help. As always, thank you very much for your time, consideration, and for listening. And I had my water meter replaced last week. Thank you. It was an easy process. And Cranberry Road, the new milling and paving near the fairgrounds looks good, and thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Weingarth. Anyone else wishing to talk to the chair?
Council, Mayor, Mr. McAvoy. Just one thing I want to mention real fast. Almost 2 weeks ago, about 15 cop cars come shooting down my block.
Quickly state your name and address.
After come shooting down my block on Deerfield Road. And I tell you, it was scary, but I found out later on that the police officer that got hurt is back to work, according to the lieutenant there. I'm very happy to hear that. They did a great job, and they brought 2 suspects under police custody. That's number one. The other thing is, I'm still a problem with that. I think about Central School with that shoulder, they call a shoulder. Can't we have it as school entrance and exit only? Might help to alleviate possibly getting tickets, entrance to the school and getting out of the school. 'Cause I drop off my grandkids most of the time, and it's hard to get out when there's fully traffic. And the best way to go out is through that shoulder, and the best way to go in is through the shoulder. Just look into that if you could, because I asked a while ago, and I don't know what's happening there. And the other thing is, too, I'm hearing we're going to get 11 electric school buses, supposedly. And I don't know if we're ready for that yet. I mean, you got to run the electric to it. It's probably more expensive to put electric in than have the gas. And is the safety for the kids? It's not profound yet. I mean, they have a lot of problems yet. So it's just a thought. Yeah, I like to see electricians get work. I was a retired electrician, so I love that. But I'm thinking about safety, and are we ready for that yet? And the other thing I'm just reading too, the governor is going to give $103 million of COVID aid to diverted to new schools here. Who gets the relief? That's what I'm trying to find out. It's a COVID relief, and the school districts that were off his budget for next year might be getting some benefit out of it. Could we find out who's going to benefit with that? That might help us with the taxes. And that's all I have to say, and thank you.
Before you leave, could we get your name and
Oh, I'm
address?
sorry. Thomas Ingrasani, 58 Deerfield Road.
And Mr. Ingrasani, when you usher those words "school," and as soon as you say them, you can draw all of your attention to the Board of Education. So when it comes to the roads and how the roads are being used, that's a Board of Education issue with regard to our police department. And what was the other one you mentioned with schools?
Buses.
The buses, again, it's the Board of Education.
Yeah.
I gave you that piece of paper that has their meeting dates on it, and you could share.
I didn't know that. I thought, I don't know.
Right.
The township has nothing to say with the school system?
Right, it's 2 separate governing bodies,
Oh, okay. All right, so
every second Thursday.
I'll try to make, because I'm a busy person too. I have 2-3 meetings a month with my own clubs and everything else.
Got it.
And, all right,
All right, thank you, Mr. Ingrasani.
thank you. Bye.
We can close the public portion. And before we move to our consent agenda, I don't want to separate Resolution 23-123. However, let me just say that I will be bringing to council in the very near future a resolution putting complete restrictions on traditional fireworks and requiring all who seek an application that only drones and laser fireworks will be permitted going forward and into the future. This matter has been discussed between myself and council, and we're fully aware of Ordinance 22-04. With regard to the Consent agenda. Does anyone need anything separated?
Council President?
Yes.
So in terms of the firework application, that application was processed in the clerk's office, and we went over the application itself and made sure that it was fully compliant to the ordinance. So I just wanted to let you know that it was fully compliant to all the requirements as per our ordinance that was adopted last year.
Can we get Resolution 23-123 through Resolution 23-132? Can we get a motion for that?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion across the board here? Township Clerk, you call the roll?
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zambicki?
Yes.
And Council President McAvoy?
Yes. We're good at the cars? We're ready. I don't want to go home. For the good of the cause, does anyone have something they would like to share? Yes, Councilwoman.
Just a reminder that this, first of all, last Saturday, spectacular event by PBA 145 with our annual Easter egg hunt. It was, I think, extra wonderful this year because of the location. Being at the Community Arts Center, the way they were able to set it up, there was real division between the age levels of the kids, which made it a much more enjoyable experience for them. And our police did an amazing job, as they always do. So I want to thank them, and also the VFW for providing hamburgers and hot dogs to everybody who was there to partake. And also a reminder that this Saturday is the Keller Run at 10 o'clock at the Community Arts Center, followed by the second annual Fly a Kite Day. And the first 100 kids will get a kite for free to fly that day. And I also understand that Benjamin Franklin is coming back to visit us that day, so that will be fun. And some other historical figures will be there as well.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Mike went to high school.
There will be there'll be a memorial gathering tomorrow, Tuesday, April 11th, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. for Barbara Ann Ambrosi, late mother of Mr. David Ambrosi, retired EBTV director. Barbara Ann worked as a passport agent in our library for 37 years before her retirement. The Cellover Funeral Home is located at 555 Georges Road in North Brunswick. Our deepest condolences are extended to David and his family. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Good night.
Good.